Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome to WFSO Wrestling Talk with yours truly, Artrell. Um, yeah, although running a little bit late, because I got like a few cancellations and had to set some things up, and some delays was going on, and like I probably that's probably y'all why y'all didn't see me do any shows most of this week, because I had to they had to be the shows had to be postponed because the person couldn't do it and things like that, and things just had to change on my end. So yeah, I did send our guest the link. That's the weird thing, because my wife is from England, so appreciate that. So, you guys to know, okay, he's waiting, so I'm gonna pull him in a minute. We do got people that's live on the chat. They on here. If they want to ask Tyler McBride, he is a ring announcer. If y'all want to ask him like any questions, y'all go ahead. But let's just get this show on the road and let's get started. So, ladies and gentlemen, this is Tyler McBride, wrestling ring announcer. Oh wait, I think he's on mute or something like that. I'm not sure. So hold on a second.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Awesome. Sorry, I'm trying to figure out this whole Zoom thing.
That was okay. Did you want to be on camera or no?
I mean, it was really up to you. I can be if I need to be. If I don't need to be,
If you don't have to, like, I can just as long as I can hear you, you're fine.
okay, cool.
Okay, so how you doing?
Good. How are you?
Well, I'm pretty good. But yeah, just gonna be like an hour long. Just gonna ask you questions and stuff like that from you know, your days like being like in the wrestling business and stuff like that, and maybe you can get some people like some onset of like what you do. So for those that don't know who you are, um let them know what your name is and tell them all about yourself.
So my actual name is Tyler McBride. However, that's not all that catchy. So I have my ring name as Tyler Shade. I'm a white kid from the Midwest, so obviously I grew up an Eminem fan. So that's kind of the inspiration behind the name.
Ain't nothing wrong with that. So that's cool. So what did you watch wrestling growing up when you as a young person? Like, I should say young kid, I should say.
Yeah, I feel like everybody kind of watched wrestling as a kid, and some people just like grow out of it by the time they're like later middle school or like later elementary school, middle school. And
Yeah.
I was just that one weird kid that didn't. Like all of my friends grew out of it. We used to go to like WWE live shows in like second, third grade whenever any of us had a birthday party because they'd always be in the area for some reason. And then, yeah, everybody just kind of grew out of it, and I just never did. There's been phases where, like, life happens, you just kind of can't follow it as much.
Right.
But yeah, I never really stopped being a fan. If I couldn't watch on TV, I'd find, you know, some way to follow it, whether it's on like social media or online. I was always kind of connected to it.
Well, that's a good thing. Because it's like, who were your inspirations growing up?
So as far as wrestling goes in my early childhood, I'm only 25, so like growing up witnessing John Cena was just pretty much my inspiration
Okay.
for everything. And as I became a teenager, I didn't really watch WWE as much. I started getting more into like ECW and that hardcore and death match. And I started like guys more like Matt Tremont and Mance Warner.
Oh yeah, because he's yeah, I heard of him once before. He be doing some shows in Illinois. So yeah, I did hear of
Mm-hmm.
that guy. So what do you think of the people that that done the ring announcing, like was any of them like was it inspiration for what you do?
So I never really grew up wanting to be a ring announcer. So like I never actually followed it. Like everybody knows like Bruce Buffer from the UFC.
Oh yeah.
Um, I really got into MLJ, who's now with GCW, used to be with CZW,
Yeah.
and also Larry Legend, who's with CZW. Those two are kind of like my biggest inspirations. I get a lot of my excitedness from them. I like to think I'm one of the most hype ring announcers there is. Like, even if it's the most totally boring match that nobody's going to care about, I'm still going to put my everything into it and make people try to care about it.
Exactly. Did you for once think that you was going to be like a wrestler? Because I know you said like the ring announcing just came out of the fly. So, were you thinking like being a wrestler or doing something else, like a
Yeah,
referee or anything like that?
so my full on plan was to be a wrestler once I got out of the army, but then some things happened and I got medically discharged, so I'm just not physically able to do it. So I was like, okay, well, in the army I was a broadcaster. I did ring announcing when they had like their little intra army like MMA combative shows, boxing. Did it for that. I was like, it's still a way for me to remain in the business and it's not going to hurt me.
Right, exactly. And I'm sorry that that happened. Um, like what like shows like in your area have you done so far?
So I just started doing this full time in last year. So I have not been doing this for very long, but I've worked with GLWA, EHF, AWE, FWF, PWK, and IPW. So 7 companies in my first full year. I'd say that's a pretty good track record.
Yeah, especially a lot of those companies are in the Midwest. So, was there like any fans that you really want to work with that's like in your
Uh,
area or like in the Midwest?
I would love to work with like ICW No Holds Barred when they come in the area, or like GCW. Like I'm a massive deathmatch fan. I've got deathmatch tattoos on my arm. So just to have the ability to ring announce for a deathmatch would probably make my entire career.
Yeah, they probably need you over here in Milwaukee for announcing for ICW because it's kind of the same thing with them too down here.
Hey,
So
just put me on.
I'll keep the word in there. But it seems like you have like a lot of love for deathmatch, which ain't nothing wrong with that. But which match that was a deathmatch that drawn you into liking like death matches?
So I remember I used to go on like YouTube and just look up like ECW matches, and eventually that just kind of like escalates. And I found a Masada match, and I was like, "Oh my god, was this? I've never seen this before." And then just from there, I probably watched like 10 straight hours of just death matches. I was like, "Okay, this is going to be my new favorite thing now."
Okay, cool. So you said you had announced some death matches. Was there one in particular that you announced that you really liked? It was like, oh my god.
So I haven't gotten to announce any like technical death matches yet, but I've done 3 hardcore tournaments where it's essentially death match, but like there's no glass. One of my favorites I've ever done was I actually made a lot of the weapons for the match. It was for GLWA Sip of Sins. It was Kyle Shaddix against Theo Storm in a body bag match. I remember I just made some crazy weapons for that match. Like I took a Nerf gun and glued like thumbtacks to the bullets or to the darts, and
Yeah.
then I took a PVC pipe, stuck a styrofoam ball in there, and then had forks in the ball. And they have it every year now, and they always ask me to make the fork mace, and it's become like a staple of the tournament now.
It seems like it. I haven't heard like that dart, like have a gun with a dart with thumbtacks. That I never heard of, and I never heard of a body bag match either. So that's a little bit different from what I've been seeing in the past.
Yeah, it's like a coffin match but cheaper,
Oh, okay, yeah, yeah. It kind of
or
makes
a
sense.
casket match. Yeah,
Yeah, that kind of makes sense. I understand that. Um, so any any other like upcoming dates that you got so far that you gonna be ring announcing that for the people that want to know?
So coming up in the month of March, I've got 3 shows, 3 weekends. First one starting it off, it's with a brand new promotion called One Off Pro, all the way down in Jeffersonville, Indiana, which is like 4 hours away from me.
Okay.
So it's cool. This is going to be the longest show I've traveled for, and it's even better when it's on somebody else's dime. And then on the 15th, I've got GLWA up in Coloma, Michigan. And then the 22nd is FWF in Warsaw, Indiana.
Okay. So you're really like from Michigan, correct?
Yeah, I live in Michigan now. I'm originally from Missouri, moved to Indiana, did the whole Army thing, went to Europe for 5 years, and now I live in Michigan.
Oh, okay. So was like because only been to like Detroit only one time, and was there like any like indie fest that you want to let people know about that they don't know so far?
It would definitely be the ones I work with the most. I'm the regular ring announcer for GLWA in Coloma, Michigan. That's the company that gave me my start, and I will forever be loyal to them. Like a lot of my best friends in the industry came from that company, and a lot of the networking I've done has come from that company. So that I will always ride for GLWA. And maybe for people that aren't in Michigan and are a little bit more south, we got FWF in Warsaw. It's a very it's a very family friendly atmosphere. A lot of big characters, people bring their kids. It's a whole very family friendly show.
Okay. Just like most of these companies have like a family friendly show. So yeah, I
Mm.
can see that. Um, any favorite indie wrestlers that you like so far that you've seen?
Ooh, where to start? Pretty much all I watch these days now is indie wrestling. Um, so definitely still Matt Tremont, Mance Warner will probably forever be my favorites. And then like excluding the people I work with, because obviously I'm always going to be very biased towards my friends that are
Hey,
in
ain't
the
nothing wrong with
industry.
that. If they that good, they that good.
So like people that are just that good. One that I'm really surprised has not been signed anywhere yet is Isaiah Moore. I work with
Oh
him
yeah,
a lot at GLWA and some other places as well. The fact that that man is not on TV yet is actually criminal to me.
exactly. Because I seen his matches like when he was here in Milwaukee like a few years ago, and I
Hmm.
know he does some stuff up north up here as well,
Yeah.
and some stuff like in Illinois as well. So yeah, he is one of the people that surprised they haven't been signed yet. So yeah. So besides him, like who else you think that some other main fans that they should look at?
So for like you want like other wrestlers for people to look at or other promotions?
Like other wrestlers, definitely.
Okay. So there's a tag team that I work with a lot that also travel with Isaiah. They're called Twist and Flip. Darren Fly, Nate Cobain. They are extremely versatile wrestlers. Nate's a real like technician and submissions and like just hard hitting action. And Darren's very backflips and awesome spots and cool things like that. So definitely that's also one of my favorites. They're starting to get out there more. They're kind of on the shorter side for wrestlers, but once you see them work, it's like, oh, their height doesn't matter. Like they can
Right.
do anything.
Exactly. So especially for people, that's that size. Glad that, most companies are looking at, what they can do in the ring and not their height and stuff like that.
Absolutely.
Yeah, so I do like that. And that's a good thing that, some companies are looking at that. But what would you change if just to say you own like one of the federal like big feds or something like that, like
Mhm.
would that something you would change, like accept people like if they're that good, they're good, don't no matter what the height it is, or like what would you change in general?
Oh, for me, I'm all about if you can get even if you're not the greatest wrestler, if you can get the people on their feet and get a reaction, like you might not be all that great in the ring, but if you get people to boo you or cheer you, at the end of the day, that's what matters. Obviously, you want like the best and the safest people in the ring. So, like size and stuff, yeah, that's cool, but like at the end of the day, people are there for a good time. So you want those reactions and those cool matches.
Yeah, exactly. Have you thought about running one yourself?
Life's expensive, man. I don't know if I could. I don't know if I could. If I would be able to do that. Like I'm enjoying being in the business myself, where other people are paying me,
Right.
and like that's honestly that's a dream. I'm traveling up and down Indiana, Michigan now, hoping to get out there more, but maybe in the future when for some reason I get burnt out or tired of this, possibly in the cards, but that it'd be a cool dream, but I don't really ever see it trying to make it happen.
Oh yeah, I understand that. Yeah, it does take a lot of work, so I do get that. But from the question I said earlier about, what would you change if you were owning like your own fest? But in the indie
Mm-hmm.
scenes, like what do you think will be one of the main problems in independent wrestling that you think they should focus on?
Hmm. I think a lot of independent companies have trouble, like, kind of marketing or promoting, getting their, um, getting their shows out there. Like, social media is free. It's cool that you post on Facebook, but like, I'm 25 and a lot of my friends my age aren't on Facebook, So, maybe just promoting more on like X or Instagram or TikTok, just trying the different avenues. Social media is free. There's no reason why people shouldn't be utilizing it.
Exactly, especially, a lot of people do go on social media, or like you said, like not that many people do, but that would be like a good platform for other people, to promote their brands or anything like that. Um what do you think the positives in like being in the independent scene?
I think you get a lot better connection with the fans, like especially if you are either a homegrown talent or a constant. Like, yeah, you can spend thousands of dollars to meet John Cena once, or you can spend the 10, 15, $20 a show every single month and like sit closer to the action, be more involved in the action, actually meet the people during intermission after the show and things like that. So I really like the how close you are with the fans.
Exactly. That's a good way to put it at too. But I'm just thinking like a fan's point of view, like was there like a moment that you saw the fans was going, oh wow, or oh my god, or anything like that?
So pretty much every single Isaiah Moore match or a twisted flip match, people are seeing something they have never seen before. But going back to that body bag match I was telling you about,
Yeah.
when I made those weapons like before the show, everybody in the back was like, I've never seen that before. And we had like the entire locker room like behind the curtain trying to sneak a peek to see like what was going on. And I know if they've never seen it before and they're all in the business, the fans have probably never seen it before either.
Exactly. So any other ideas you're gonna do for that type of tournament this year? Or did it already happen? Or
So it happens every August.
oh,
I've got some ideas kind of brewing, but I got a few more months until I actually put more thought into it and start putting out feelers, seeing like, hey, what do you think of this? Things like that.
gotcha. Well, I will get back to you on that and see what you created so I can
Oh,
just show
absolutely.
everybody
If you got
like,
any
look at
ideas,
this.
send them my way. I'm gonna take the credit, but you'll know it came from you.
Right. Me, I only think I can come up with something like that, but I can probably think of it, but like, no, that wouldn't work.
Yeah, most of the time people think it's creative just to put thumbtacks on things you haven't seen thumbtacks on before. I try to go, a little bit more outside of that, try to get a little bit more creative, but If it works for people, it works for people.
Okay, that's cool. Where do you see yourself maybe within the next 5 to 10 years with the wrestling?
That's it's so crazy of me to think that far ahead because I've been doing this not even 2 full years. Like obviously my dream would be to work with like Impact or AEW or WWE. That's obviously the ultimate dream. Realistically, will it happen? Probably not, but just being able to travel more, meet new people, work for new companies, that's kind of like my main focus right now, alongside, of course, getting better every single show.
Exactly. Do you think you have any flaws in your ring announcing? But I don't think you do. But I'm just saying, in your opinion.
So the big thing that's been pointed out to me is I hate to dress up. So you're not going to catch me ring announcing in a suit. I'll wear a polo or like a long sleeve collared shirt, but that's kind of the extent of it. I'm sure there's people out there that are like, oh, you have to be in a suit. You got to do all this stuff. And to each their own, if I have the opportunity to ring announce in a t shirt and shorts or just a t shirt and jeans, I'm going to take it every single time. Kind of my whole gimmick, I guess you could say, as a ring announcer is the man with the sick kicks on the mic stick. As you can see, I've got some of my collection right here.
Oh wow.
So I like to wear different shoes for every single show. I'll repeat them if it's a different company, but yeah, I don't really dress the traditional way a ring announcer would. But to me, if I'm doing the job and I'm doing it great, why does it matter if I'm not in a suit?
Right.
Like if you look at
Exactly.
GCW, MLJ, their ring announcer, he never dresses up. He just goes out there and does a really good job, and that's what matters.
Exactly. If you good at your job, why not? I just know some people does dress up like every now and then, or put on like like you said, like a maybe a shirt and maybe some nice pants or something like that. But it's different for everybody. Believe me, I don't even like dressing up.
Yeah.
It's
Like I was in the army for 5 years. I was always told told what to wear every single day. Like I want some freedom, even if it's just, oh, I'm gonna wear a polo and not a suit.
right,
Like, don't get it twisted. I'm not gonna go out there looking dingy,
right.
but I just won't be fully suited up. I also like to try to dress for like the show's theme. Like this past December at GLWA, it's like a Christmas theme. They have Christmas lights around the poles and stuff. I wore an elf onesie. One, because it's funny, and two, it goes with the show's theme. Like, if I can dress up in a fun way, I will. There's a show last year, also GLWA. It was like Summer Bash or something like that. I wore like a Jaws like Hawaiian shirt and some swim trunks and like a life jacket. And like, yeah, it's not the most professional thing, but like it goes with the theme and it's fun. It doesn't take away from my ability to do the job whatsoever.
exactly. That's one good way to say it. But what would you tell people that be interested in something that you do? Like, what advice would you give them?
Do it. Like, I never thought I would be in this position where I'm at. Like, yeah, I've worked in the radio industry, but I never thought I'd actually be able to ring announce for pro wrestling. I did MMA, I did boxing, and yeah, that was cool and all, but like I've loved pro wrestling since I was a little kid, and to actually be able to do this has been great. Send the messages, reach out. Like I've probably sent messages and emails to literally hundreds of promoters, but all it takes is one. Even if you get 99 unanswered messages or no thank yous, we're good. All it takes is one.
Exactly. Like what? Like, cause you seem like you're successful right now for being there, for like doing it for like almost 2 years. Like, what would you tell your younger self?
I would in the beginning I was a lot more reserved. I wasn't as confident in my skills as I am now. Like I'm not even close to being the perfect ring announcer, but I am very good. I've got no problem wanting to prove to people how good I am. There was two companies last year where I came in on a fill-in basis because their regular ring announcer was sick. After both those shows, I became those companies regular. Kick the other dude to the curb. Like,
Oh wow.
you got to take advantage of every single
Right.
opportunity you have.
Yeah, that is true. You got to. You haven't missed any shows that you've done so far, have you?
What do you mean?
I mean, like ring announcer, you didn't miss any shows that you were supposed to do, right?
Oh yeah, no. There's been some where I got sick and couldn't attend,
Yeah.
but other than that, I've never no showed. I've never canceled unexpectedly. Like if I am sick, I try to give them a long heads up. Obviously, I'll send like last year. Um, I had the flu and then I lost my voice just from being so sick. I sent the promoter messages literally every day for 2 weeks leading up to the event, just giving them an update on how I feel and just to start looking for maybe a backup if needed.
Right. So if you didn't end up doing like ring announcer, what do you think you would be doing right now?
Honestly, probably just being a fan. Like I work in radio right now for a living, so talking and broadcasting, that's my passion. That's what I love to do. But as far as wrestling goes, if I wasn't a ring announcer, I'd just be going to every single local indie show or any show I could afford to go to.
Okay. Yeah, that's a good way to put it. Your radio broadcasting that you do like every day, like you say is it local, right?
Yeah.
Like a radio station or just talk about, sports because I know there's different things of like with radio that people do.
Yeah, so I do news and sports news, and my company is partnered with the University of Notre Dame. So I cover a
Okay.
lot of Notre Dame sports and things like that.
Ever went to a Notre Dame game?
Yeah, luckily we get free tickets. So I went to a football game last year and I just went to a hockey game like probably a month ago.
Oh well, that's some cool perks.
Yeah.
Exactly. Before I let you go, what do you think you can tell people, that not just like they want to ring announce, but something they want to do like in the future involving with the wrestling business. Like, what would you tell them about the wrestling business from what you know so far?
In my experience, the wrestling business is what you make of it. Um, I know a lot of people who like to talk bad about certain locker rooms or certain people. That's never been my style. I show up, I work hard, I'm friendly, I talk to everybody. Because, yeah, you might not like somebody, but at the end of the day, they could be the one paying your bills, or they could be the one that either prevent you from getting another opportunity or helping you get another opportunity. So just trying to be friendly, you work hard, you show up on time or early, help all you can, and just care. Like, I know a lot of people, I know a few ring announcers that are just like, okay, what's your name? Where are you from? What's your weight? Cool. But I go that extra and they're like, of course I get their basic information, but I'm like, is there a specific way that you want me to stretch out your name or say your nickname? Like, you just have to put in that extra care because your competition won't.
Exactly. And I just never thought about that, like over that extra, that actually would be like really helpful. So yeah, that's a good thing. And thanks again. I appreciate you being on here and hopefully where can people find you at?
So on Instagram, it's and TikTok, I run both because I'm, a young adult. That Thai Guy 3 is going to be the link for both of those. My TikTok is mostly wrestling, and my Instagram's kind of, it used to be a lot of my personal life, but now it's pretty much wrestling. And then on Facebook, it's just Tyler McBride. That is exclusively wrestling. Pretty much the only thing I share is upcoming shows I'm on or shows I've done in the past. Not going to get too personal in there. But yeah, Instagram and TikTok are definitely the place to be.
Okay, you guys heard it here, and I appreciate you being on here, Tyler. And hopefully we have more success in the future, and we'll probably will end up doing this again someday.
I really hope we do. This is my first ever podcast, and I hope it's not the last, especially with you. So I really appreciate you just giving me a platform to not only put my people on, but my companies on as well.
Exactly. I appreciate that, and once again, thank you for being on here, and just appreciate it. And you have a good one, and hopefully more success for you coming in the future as well.
Thank you.
No problem. That's Tyler Slade, right?
Shade.
Tyler Shade. Okay, I will get that right. So once again, thank you for being on here. So appreciate it.
No problem, man. Have a good one.
You too.
Bye.
Bye. And that's Tyler Shade, ladies and gentlemen, ring announcer for the Midwest. And like I said, all that information is up. Like I said, you can find them on Instagram, uh, X, and all that good stuff. So our interviews that's gonna be done next week. Hopefully, the other ones don't get canceled or postponed. So I got a good lineup for next week, and y'all will see that. Um, the recorded version of this will be on YouTube sometime within a matter of maybe like within the next 2 hours. Y'all will get to see this full thing. So I appreciate it, and you guys that's watching on YouTube, Twitch as well, and also it will be on Wrestling Fan Speaker on Spotify. So check out those and other contents that we record on here as well. And on YouTube, guys, please like and subscribe. And if you like more of this, there will be more of them. Um, and share the content as well. So if you like wrestling content, interviews, or if you also like no basketball talk that we were doing most of the day with the Milwaukee Bucks and all the stuff going on in the NBA. So we talk about that too. Comic book movies and TV news, and also developments that's going on here in Milwaukee. So please, check out the content and over 30, no, not I was gonna say 34, but 2,400 videos and more that we do on here on YouTube and counting. And this also will be posted on the website, wrestlingfanspeakout.weebly.com. This video will be posted on the Wrestling Talk page. So you guys get a chance to check it out. And yeah, we already got one interview on there already. And plus, a interview we done with Paul Borg. Hopefully I said his last name right. So it's like an online interview that we did with that. So you get a chance, check that out. That's not going to go anywhere anytime soon. It will still be on the website, so you get a chance to check it out. Once again, the website is wrestlingfanspeakout.weebly.com. And thank you guys that's watching on Twitch live, and we appreciate it. And please, follow us on Twitch. But I appreciate you guys watching. Until the next video, you guys have a good one, and stay tuned.